Being an Aquarius could be difficult, whether it is having wild, outlandish ideas or, feeling weird, alienated, isolated, or maybe your supreme logic and absolute genius just makes you want to detach away from low IQ humans. The Aquarius are almost like master criticizers just because of their analytical and intellectual nature. Aquarius could sabotage themselves out of anything. Overthinkers, a lot of internal self chatter. However, you know, Aquarius is still the best sign. We're gonna talk about why it's so difficult to be an Aquarius during the Aquarius season. Now, we need to look at the house lords and the dignities. Sun, which is in Aquarius from January 21st until February 19th this year, I think. Or maybe it's January 22nd until February 18th. Anyway, that period between there, those people born between there, astronomy wise, I guess classically in the areas where astrology was developed, during those times we experience winter, aka distance, when the sun is further away from the earth compared to the spring, summer, and the fall. And so this distance causes, I guess, coldness, causes this sort of detachment, causes this sort of need for us to work harder. So in astrology, when sun is in Aquarius, it's detriment, it's fallen state. We just say that the sun has to work harder to influence us, and we on earth have to work harder to absorb all of the benefits of the sun during this period in time. And so in the physical or in the astronomy, likewise in the astrology, the influences of the sun, which deals with our ego, identity, vitality, self-expression, we have to work a bit harder to have that energy flowing freely. So the challenges with Aquarius is, especially during Aquarius, is that Aquarius is opposite, or the Aquarius space or sign is opposite to where the sun thrives or where the sun loves to be, which is in Aries. And so Aquarius is, they tend to shine through ideas rather than just having a personal presence or bravado, often making Aquarius feel like they're in the shadows, they're in the background, or they're just assisting versus having their own spotlight and having their own stage for their creativity. Again, because Aquarius is opposite to Leo, where the sun thrives. Leo is all about being seen, being celebrated. And so Aquariuses tend to kind of shy away or pull away from the spotlight, from the center stage. Aquariuses love to assist, to make the stage, get everything set up, and they're fine with playing the background. However, everyone has their day or time to shine. And so Aquarius is just because of the opposition, or the sun is in its opposing house, they have to work harder to feel comfortable on the stage. So even though the Aquarius might be the star, they have this sort of, I guess, humbleness, you would want to call it, or feel like they don't deserve it, or they're just not so, I mean, they are individualistic, they could be selfish, it's a fixed sign, but there's just something about them that want to feel a part of something, or they find themselves or their individuality from being a part of a collective. And so they could suffer, especially during their career season, from the lack of just, self assertion or personal visibility, just taking up space, or just embarking on, or embracing rather, their inner fire could be a bit more challenging or difficult for them. Again, Aquarius is playing the background, playing it safe instead of, really leading out and taking charge. Aquariuses have brilliant minds, and unlike the Leo, who are quite passionate and charismatic, Aquarius lead through their revolutionary ideas, their intellect, and just the collective impact, the group effort. However, this can sometimes, make Aquariuses feel a lack of personal recognition or personal appreciation, like they feel like they're not being seen or appreciated or even valued. And so, just that sense of recognition or appreciation, or feeling, like they're doing as great as they know that that they're doing, it could just be a bit more difficult for Aquariuses to feel comfortable. So how could we overcome this as Aquariuses during this Aquarius season? We know that the sun is in its detriment, so we need to work a bit harder to exude our Aquarian characteristics of being, fixated, consistent, determined, persistent, while bringing through, the innovation, the progress, the revolution, all of the positive characteristics. We need to, in some way, shape, or form, step into our own presence, just because you have to work harder to feel comfortable expressing your fire, because there's a balance. On the opposite side of the Aquarius is calm, collective, suave, persona. There is, the fire. There is that raw, authentic, unfiltered passion that fuels the Aquarius. And so the more that they learn how to balance their intellect with the impulse, again, Aquariuses could get into a fixated way of thinking. They could get stuck into a thinking loop. But on the internal side of the yang, which would be the fire, again, there's a spark. There's a certain spark inside. I guess the opposite of, the ear of Aquarius, that just the friction from the opposing energy really spark, maybe the chain of thought that begins the revolution. And so we don't always have to play the background as the Aquarius, because the background is safe, and the background, we feel, okay, you're with other people, you could just fit in. I guess that also comes from, heavy Uranus influence of just being different, and so we already spoke about, feeling alienated or ostracized, or feeling like, a weirdo, just because of the uniqueness that Aquarius is only could garner from being in a collective. Because again, Uranus speaks towards rebellion and going against. So it's like you have to know what's the status quo, the norm, for you to go against it to gain your originality as the Aquarius. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because on one side you have to make yourself a part of the collective, a part of others, to gain a sense of uniqueness, individuality, but also you immersing yourself with others could become a sort of safe haven, just so that you don't stand out and be outstanding and have those feelings of, everyone kind of just looking at you, what I'm saying, and you having all of that type of attention. Aquariuses don't, they want to feel appreciated. They want to have that Leo moment of, hey, we have the stage and all eyes on me. However, it's not out of, just sheer ego. It's more about, hey, we have ideas, we have a certain level of genius, we have a certain level of, impact that we could bring, that we want everyone to partake of and appreciate and enjoy, and just want to get recognized. You know what I mean? All right. So again, Aquarius is during this Aquarius season. I wrote down something and it was like, find ways to let yourself be seen without compromising authenticity, or without being attention seeking at the same time, because that could be one of the troubles that we Aquariuses, could find ourselves in the pursuit of, I guess, trying to show our intellect, our ideas, our innovation, to make a change with the goal of like making a change. We could get a bit sidetracked, either with the lack of noticement or the lack of appreciation for what we're bringing, or on the flip side, we get carried overboard with the clout and so forth and so forth. Aquarius is, again, thrive from progressiveness, progressive actions, progressive ideas, and their own unique expression. And so an Aquarius during the Aquarius season could find themselves, again, instead of finding their own voice or having their own swagger or have their own stage for themselves, could again cower away, play the background, play the field, and just downplay themselves, downgrade themselves. There's a strong call for Aquariuses, especially for the rest of this season, to balance your individuality and confidence. Leo, which is the opposite side of Aquarius, the opposing side, is very confident, supreme confidence. Leo and Aquariuses are almost the same coin, but just two different heads. And so Aquariuses could tap into the fire, they could tap into the Leo energy, they could tap into that boldness, that charisma, that passion. They could tap into a side of themselves that feels comfortable with all eyes on me, you know what I'm saying? And every Aquarius deserves that moment where their expression, their intellect could shine. But we just need to work a bit harder for it. And it's a shame that during our season, for us to be seen, heard, felt, appreciated, we gotta push a bit more. It doesn't come native or natural for us. I find, like, as Aquarius, the Leo season is the time where, I feel more exalted. But hey, again, we just need to tap into the Saturn energy and be disciplined, mature, maybe limit yourself, have a certain structure or framework that allows you to be Aquarius to the fullest during the Aquarius season. Consistent, persistent, determined, forward momentum despite obstacles, trials, tribulations, bringing in all sorts of innovation. And it's funny that just the Uranus energy, although Aquarius is the fixed air sign, just the Uranus influence could make us quite, adaptable and versatile at the same time. So Aquarius is quite blessed as a sign. It's just pity that we don't get the flowers that we think we appreciate. That's why it's important to, find your tribe. And again, as an Aquarius, we could be a bit, I don't want to say dismissive, but again, detachment is one of the biggest negative traits of the Aquarius. Not too emotional, depending on how pure of an Aquarius you are. So sometimes we don't even need the emotional gratification or satisfaction. It's just that you want your logic or intellect to be acknowledged. Like, you see this golden nug that we have here, like, come on, appreciate it, or recognize it for what it is. Anyway, again, tapping into that Saturn energy to just continue to work hard. Like, even though it's Aquarius season, we may not be the one shining, but we know that once you keep grinding, eventually, the work that you put in is going to pay off and help you to reach to your desired destination. Hopefully it's founded in reality and not fantasy. Major farewell until we meet or greet again. If you like this type of content, hit a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think about this. As an Aquarius, share your experience. Do you find that during the Aquarius season it feels like, it's a bit difficult, all eyes on you, or you feel shy, or you're playing the field in the background versus having your own stage or creating a stage for yourself? Let me know what you feel about the discourse or conversation that we had. Again, major farewell until we meet or greet again. I'm Astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major.